I'm Pavin, four-time Madden champion. In this video, I'll be breaking down my guide to disguising defenses in Madden 25 and how this is going to result into you outplaying and outthinking your opponent in your upcoming games. Let's get into the video now. You're probably thinking, why is it important to disguise your defense? What's it going to do? Well, the simple premise of this is we're going to be coming out in a certain coverage. So for example, I'm in this cover 3 sky, and you could tell this is a cover 3 because, you know, one guy here, two guy here, three guy here, and they're in their deep blues, they're playing their intended assignment. So with this knowledge, you know, your opponent might call a cover 3 beating play. So it's going to be like a tight end post, you know, with a drag coming across the middle. And you're going to see right here, you know, the tight end ends up getting open, right? It's a cover 3 play. It beats cover 3. With that same knowledge, you know, watch this. We're going to make our cover 3 into a cover 2. So now with the same look, you know, the tight end on the post, we're in a cover 2 look now. You're going to see now that we call the same play, the mid read on this cover 2, the two deep halves, just the entire cover 2 coverage is going to completely stop this tight end post, right? There's nothing there. Halves are in position to play it. The mid read plays it long enough to get it to the half. And that's the simple premise of just disguising your defense. Now, outthink your opponent. You're going to trick them into calling really bad plays for your intended coverage. I'm going to take it a little more in depth now and tell you how to really maximize and disguise your coverages. The three big things we got to look at is the auto alignment. You know, auto flip matters as well. You probably want this on always. But the three alignments is default, baseline, and man align. And if you've been always confused about this, I'm going to break them down really quickly. Don't worry. On default coverage, your guys are going to line up intended, you know, by their specific coverage they come out in. So for example, I'm in cover 2. You notice how there's two deep safeties and that the cloud flats are kind of playing that depth. We're going to audible the cover 3 now, and you're going to see them go to a cover 3. So that's what default is. Default coverage is pretty good at disguising looks if you could really, really outthink your opponent. For example, this is a man look, right? But, you know, we can make it like a cover 2. And by the time your opponent calls hike, they might have a man play already on the field. But now we're running cover 2. Odds are they're probably going to get, you know, stopped. The one downside about default is, you don't have guys in the right spot for everything, right? For example, let's just motion a guy out. You're going to see, look at everyone just shuffling and rotating, right? This could get very annoying and allow free touchdowns. And another big issue with the default alignment is, let's just say you are adjusting, you're disguising your look, and you're in this cover 3, right? And we're going to try to make it a cover 2, and you're just going to notice you're going to have to move players around, right? If you're in a cover 2, this can get the job done, but for the most part, you're going to have a lot of open spaces. For example, you're going to see this deep half on the left is going to have a little trouble getting to the sideline fade, right? Because he's in the middle of the field, right? So you're going to see we're going to call this sideline fade, and he just cannot get there due to the physics and, you know, the player movement in the game, the zone coverage is not being that great. So this is why a lot of people prefer not to play on default. Now with baseline, this is the biggest tool you could use. This is what every really good Madden player for the most part ends up using, is the baseline coverage. So with this they're going to line up in the same spot for the most part every single time. Unless it's a play that has a really specific alignment, they're going to really line up in the same spot for the most part every single play. You're going to see right here, I'm in this cover 2. Now I'm going to audible to cover 3. I'm going to audible to LB blitz 0. And you're going to see they do move inside a little bit because it's man coverage. But like, that's what I was saying. You know, if it's a specific coverage or a specific play like man coverage, they might line up on the inside. Whereas zone, they're going to line up on the outside. If you run a lot of zone, you definitely want to be on baseline. You can get that same look every time. You're going to get very familiar, know where your players are at every single time, and be able to hot route and put them in the specific coverage you need to get stops. And lastly, we're going to get into this man align, and it's in the name, right? If you're running a lot of man coverage, but you want to maybe dupe them out and run like a little bit of zone once in a while, this is the coverage for you. So with this man align, it's really going to just line up a guy over a guy, and it's just really amazing if you come out in a lot of man coverage and need to make adjustments for specific man beating routes. For example, we're just going to come out in this man align, and with this, you know, we're going to make this man align, like I said, into a cover 2, right? If someone's running a lot of corner routes and we can't stop them out of our man coverage look, we're going to audible to like a cover 2, right? Or make it a cover 2. So this is the highest level chess match right here. This is how you're going to get a lot of wins and become a better Madden player by learning these different alignments, understanding what they do, and really utilizing at least one or two of them into your game plan, and knowing like, okay, this is my base coverage. I can make certain adjustments out of this look now that I'm in this baseline, or now that I'm in this man line. So that's really how you disguise your defense in Madden 25 and in general any Madden. And this is going to buy you a lot more stops. You're going to trick your opponent into calling really bad plays versus the coverage you're in. It's going to take some time getting used to the quick adjustments if you're not really familiar with them, but practice makes perfect. Give it some time and you will be getting a lot of stops in Madden 25. Now to my in-game example. So right here, we're going to see my opponent is in bunch. We're going to start off with a baseline look to start the game. And how you could tell if it's baseline, man align, whatever it may be, you're going to see, right, my safeties are in this dollar type of look, right? There's one safety here. He's going deep. There's two safety here, 3 and 4. And you notice how they're more backed off, giving some cushion, right? The safeties are in the box. That's how I like to run my dollar zone coverage. And, you know, you see the slots are in their intended spot. There's one slot on the right, one slot on the left. It's symmetrical. That's what I could really call baseline. It's symmetrical. You get a symmetrical look every time, especially if there's even number of players on each side of the field. That's why people love it a lot, right? They could count on it. It's reliable. You don't have a mismatch on one side of the field. And, yeah, that's what baseline really comes down to. But you're going to see we call this baseline first play. And we're just running like a cover 4, cover 6 hybrid, right? See right here, you know, we do send 3. We get some nice pressure. I did give up something with my switch stick, but we got there at the end of the day. So you're gonna see, all right, I didn't get that much pressure right there. What we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna run man align. You see how I switched from baseline to man align? I know what I want to do. I know he's in bunch for the most part, and I know like, okay, bunch is usually gonna struggle a little bit if you could really run a little bit of man and then disguise it and run zone behind it. It's what I've been doing for years versus bunch, versus the best bunch players in the world. I know like if I could run a hybrid of man and zone, I will get stops. So what we're gonna see right here, what I end up doing is I try to quickly make this into a cover 3 cloud type of look, right? This guy's trying to go into third. I don't think I end up getting it off. He's still manned up. But with this, I'm stopping corner routes, right? I'm stopping corner routes to the right. I have safety help here. This safety is gonna rotate and try to get to this, you know, right seam right here. And, you know, this right side, you know, if he could fit this pass in, so be my guest, right? But I'm predicting a play to the right. And you're going to see this is the biggest challenge when it comes to disguising your defense is getting the hot routes out as fast as you can. You see, I did my best, right? I tried really my best to get my hot routes off to this right side. He had 4 receivers there, but I ended up getting quick hikes. So this is going to be the biggest challenge for you. If you're up for the challenge, great. But, you know, with practice and with, you know, patience, you will become really good at these hot routes, mastering it, really getting your adjustments off versus people that no huddle and quick hike. Because, you know, you'll end up getting stops any day of the week because they're rushing their play, but you're really not rushing your defense, right? They're rushing their play. And you see right here, I'm in man align, right? When man align, one guy's on the tight end, one guy's on the receiver in the slot, one guy's on the outside receiver, one guy's over here. You know, you see we have 3 guys on the right because he has 3 defenders on the or receivers on the right. We have safety help as well. But you're going to see I make this into a cover 3, right? I make this into a cover 3. I think I go something like this. This guy will be manned up because this solo side is really always going to be a drag, maybe like an in route. And I trust my man coverage with my user to get that stop. So left side, it's always going to be that. Right side in bunch, it's always going to be like some type of corner route or, you know, some type of this direction. We're going this direction now. That's really what bunch comes down to, right? We're going either right or left. You see he motions his guy out. I have this vert hook here, this hard fly here to stop the flats. I end up hard flying this left side just in case he goes like maybe a tight end drag or running back flat. And if he has like a corner route right here, which he very well might be, I will be switch sticking onto this defender to take that away. You can see how the play ends up playing out. Sending 4 people and, you know, like I said, he had this tight end drag. He did have this drag right here. It was a great play. He went from right to left, right? He went drag, and a little crosser. And this safety in this cover 3 cloud zone, I'm guarding 2 things at once, right? I could switch stick onto him, take this away. Like I said, he missed the read. It happens, right? And if people are missing reads versus you, you're doing your job right. So I end up getting, you know, pressure right there. I could have had a better user, but it happens. So here we go, 3rd and 10, and now we're running a different type of look, right? We were going from right to left with this, try to loop him, but now we're going to try to get in that gap and get that pressure from that left A gap. And it's the same thing. We're running man align coverage. If we want, we could zone him out depending on what I think is coming. This is really good defense. I have a solo man right here, but I have this quarter, right? And if we have something going towards this sideline, I'll switch to this quarter. We have eyes in this middle of the field. That's our area to user. And everyone on the right side, I believe, is manned up. So this should be solid defense. Let's see how it ends up playing out. And he does have the tight end open. We switch stick onto it and force an incompletion. So we left that middle of the field open because we knew our user might be there or our switch stick is going to be there. And it worked out perfectly, right? Those quarters really, really, really good to switch stick onto and get stops with. And last play right here is 4th and 10. We're in the man line once again. I think I might have zone dropped a little bit, but you see I have this mid read, right? Because the last play he hit us in this, area of the field, and I could have gotten dotted. Thankfully my switch stick was there, but let's just take that away completely this time. So I go with the mid read. I go with the cover 3 cloud look on this right. If he goes with a fade up the sideline, our guy will be there. And then I could also switch stick onto him and guard this whole middle of the field or this right seam. Cloud flow on the right to stop any flats. And, there's a vert hook always because, verticals might be coming or some type of inside play. And you can see this is really good defense, right? It looks like man, it ends up being zone. He calls a play that, was good for man, but we end up getting the stop because we were in zone, we were in the right area, we end up getting a shed. So that's Madden at the highest level for my more advanced viewers. And if you're a beginner, take these with baby steps and you will get there. I 100% guarantee it. If you enjoy this video, smash that like button. Go check out Madden Academy now. We have free courses on perfect, thing I just explained in this video, right? The spaces of the field, how to disguise your coverage, how to become really good at the mental part, the mental chess match that is Madden, right? So go check out Madden Academy now, and you will 100% get better by doing so. Catch you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace.